Hello and welcome to the New York Sports Show. I'm your host, Dominic Konoveski, and one of the biggest topics surrounding the Yankees over the course of the past month is should Aaron Boone be fired, or at the very least, let alone be put on the hot seat by the Yankees organization. Now, New York started the season strong, not to mention they had a very dominant month of May. And then we had the yearly June swoon. It seems like the Yankees have struggled in the early summer months since really 2019, 2020, you could say. The month of June showed the Yankees going 13 and 14 in the win-loss column. And then now we may have a sequel to the June swoon, the July swoon, as the Yankees, through their first 6 games of this brand new month, have not started things on the best of terms with themselves, as they are now 1 and 5 in the win-loss column. The Yankees, once commanding and dominant lead in the American League East, has now seen them drop back to second place, with actually tied with the Tampa Bay Rays. Yankees have an off day tonight. The Toronto Blue Jays have that 3-game lead over the Yankees. Blue Jays have performed very well so far as we go into the All-Star break. The Yankees have not. Overall, New York sits 49 and 41 in the win-loss column, as I said, tied with the Tampa Bay Rays, with the Boston Red Sox to sit in 3.5 games back on both Tampa Bay and New York. So Boston is really in the catbird seat as well to move into possibly third or even second place. But nonetheless, has the Yankees' past month and a half really been the factor of poor management from Aaron Boone? Now, I don't think Aaron Boone is the best manager overall. I could highlight every single mistake that Boone has made over the course of the past 365 days, from Nestor Cortez World Series Game 1 appearance to Boone sitting Aaron Judge while he was hot, moving the lineup up and down with players that are hot and cold, giving unnecessary days off, and all of that. But downright, since the beginning of June, and this season overall, has Aaron Boone garnered enough negativity against him and poor, I would say, stat lining by his players against him to be put on the hot seat or fired? Now, Aaron Boone is not in charge of trades or free agent signings. That's GM Brian Cashman. The Yankees are in need of a big trade deadline, as this team has been riddled by injuries, especially lately in the pitching rotation. I'm talking about the starting 5 and even bullpen arms. Now, when the Yankees started their big slump where they got swept in June by the Boston Red Sox, we saw the bats fall silent. Pitching was excellent, though. And now the bats are hot, and the pitching is ice cold. Now, you could say the recent injury by Clark Schmidt, which now involves Tommy John surgery, where he could be out all the way until the beginning of 2027, was really the final nail in the coffin when it comes to the Yankees hitting the red alert button. Because the New York pitching line over the course of this season has not been the best, but what has really caught my eye when I was doing some stat digging into this video is the overall season relief pitching line that features a 14 and 20 combined record from New York relievers and a 4.03 ERA. Now, pitching over the last 7 days, those are 6 games, has an 8.68 ERA. I know Will Warren's implosion really up to those numbers, but even so, a 1.772 whip, and in the last 14 days, 13 games, that's a 6.08 ERA. Now, the Yankees' hitting was not the best in June. That's when the hitting fell silent. A 238 combined team batting average and a 718 OPS. Now, in the small sample size of 6 games for the month of July, Yankees hitters have combined for an 884 OPS, hitting 12 home runs in a 6-game span, averaging 2 home runs per game. Has been pitching that has let the Yankees down, and not necessarily who's getting a day off in the lineup or who went from hitting in the top 3 in the lineup to being in the middle of the order, even bottom of the lineup. I do not think this recent Yankee woe that has been going over the past month and a half is Aaron Boone's fault. If anything, I would blame Brian Cashman for his lack of move making. It seems like the Yankees are going to wait right up until the trade deadline to try to give this team some life. But as the way things are going now, the Yankees are digging themselves a very, very deep hole that undoubtedly needs to be covered up by going after multiple. I'm talking a minimum of at least two solid relievers and at least one more solid starter. Now, when it comes to the lineup, Anthony Volpe is not an everyday player. Say what you want about his WAR and what he's projected to put up RBI-wise this season. Anthony Volpe is not an everyday player. He should not be playing 140-plus games a season, at least not at this point. He's still very young. He could still be developed. But what the best thing I feel like could happen to Anthony Volpe is him being optioned down to AAA. Honestly. And the Yankees need to go out there and trade for a true third baseman so then Jazz Chisholm could play full time at second base without having to worry about anything. Not to mention, he plays so much better at the second base position. So I do not think Aaron Boone should be put on the hot seat, at least not for the Yankees' recent struggles. But comment down below what you guys think. I'm Dominic Konoveski. Take it easy, folks.